Alright, we just got through firing a couple of the new milled series from Arsenal, which is over in Las Vegas. They're essentially, as most of you know, the import arm of Arsenal, Bulgaria. I know for legal purposes they're separate companies, but come on. Starting off here, this is the SAM7UF. I bet you can guess what the UF stands for. It's an underfolding buttstock. If I can get it here. This one's quite stiff, which is a good thing. Standard underfolder there. These are built in Bulgaria and imported as a sporter, and then they are turned into an evil military rifle by the Arsenal USA. They have a original Bulgarian milled, forged receiver. They claim it takes them 5.5 hours to make it. You know, I'm sure it does, but it's also by machine. Original Bulgarian 16.5-inch chrome-lined barrel. They come with a muzzle nut. I've put a slant type muzzle brake on this one because of what I'm going for. Only with these Bakelite handguards and Bakelite pistol grip, I'm kind of going for a late 80s, early 90s Arsenal vibe. Just something to set it apart from other milled guns out there. Has a smooth type dust cover. Has the AKM style milled buttstock that locks on both sides, and it's stamped with rivets. So that's kind of a little stronger than the original AK47 underfolding stock that just locked on one side. Standard AK safety. Another one. There we go. Double hook trigger group. Very smooth, as to be expected from a milled Arsenal. Has a paint over parked finish to the metal parts. Again, it is all Bulgarian, brought over, imported. And bayonet lug, threaded barrel removable here, kind of nice. Cleaning rod under the barrel, very typical, you know, underfolder AK. It's chambered for 7.6239, of course. But yeah, I was happy to see them bring back the series. They first started importing these as a fixed stock gun called the SLR-101S. And then for legal reasons, so they can sell these in California, because the SLR series is banned by name in California, they just slightly changed the guns and renamed them the SAM7R, which is the fixed stock version of this guy. And it's identical to this gun, except, of course, the stock is different. And now this series is out, and there's, you know, 4 or 5 members to it now, including the SAM7K pistol, which is all Bulgarian. It's just nice to see them. These are cheaper than the earlier milled Arsenals, which were built in the USA using Bulgarian parts, but on a USA finished out receiver. That's why I think why they're more expensive, because of the labor costs. Also, those had more of a shiny paint finish, whereas this is a matte coarse, but more of a military style. But yeah, as to be expected from Arsenal, it works, and it works well. No problems. After we've been shooting shotguns and all day, shooting a 7.6239 milled his walk in the park almost feels like a 22. So even though it has a metal stock and it's, you know, a little uncomfortable because of that, it isn't too bad. Weight-wise, these weigh a little more than an AKM, but not as much as an AK47, because it has the AKM's lighter profile barrel, 90-degree gas block, you know, a lighter style stamp stock versus milled, so it's kind of in between the two. It doesn't feel very heavy to me, I mean, in quality of the receiver, and it's just really neat that this is an actual Bulgarian produced receiver, milled, not a US copy or clone. I don't have a problem with the Century, you know, milled guns, especially the 1960. That's a great gun. But yeah, these are on the market for about $1,200 new, so not cheap, but for a factory-built milled gun, not horrible. They come with one 10-round mag, sling, cleaning kit, the usual Arsenal products. And yeah, I wasn't gonna keep one of these at first, but then I thought, well, you know, might as well. You know, they're fun to shoot. I had some Bakelite furniture laying around, thought that'd look nice on it. And yeah, just had to hang on to it for a while. Just had it out here today, letting it stretch its legs for a little bit. We'll move on. We're still going. that good?
Yep.
Okay, and to go along with the SAM7UF, we have the SAM7SF. This came out last August, so it's been out a year now. This is the one Arsenal touted as the game changer, and that's bullshit. It was marketing bullshit. That said, it's a very well done AK. My speech says AK, sorry. It slips in once in a while. But very nicely done gun. It's nothing new or revolutionary, but it does have a lot of neat features that are unique. This is the same gun that Arsenal sold about 10 years ago as the SAM7SF too. Those were, again, built in the U.S. using a U.S. finished out receiver with Bulgarian parts, but they sold back then for $1,600–1,700, and up until this one came out last year, they were trading for $2,000–2,200, so very expensive. When these came out, they were, I think, retailing for $14. You could find them a lot of places for $13.50 or even $13. Today, they're about $13, so, you know, not bad. Not cheap, but they do have a lot of features that are unique. Starting off, you've got this side folding stock. It's the same style of mechanism as you see on the AK-74, AK-74M series, but it has the release on the outside, not the end. Push it, it's kind of neat. It'll swing out under its own momentum and more or less be ready to lock open. The release is over here. Excuse me, no, over here. Push button there. It's a little stiff, but not bad. Very tight lockup, no play. One thing I do like about this one over the original SAM7 is it has a thin but nice rubber recoil pad. It doesn't really do a whole lot for dampening recoil, but what it does do, it lets it stick to your shoulder better. It just gives it a little better grip on your shirt or jacket. I had one of the original SAM7SFs, and because this length of pull is a little long, it would sometimes, and it's a pretty narrow, it would sometimes slip off. So I like that. It keeps it on the shoulder a little better, which means better accuracy, more stability, just everything's better. So you've got that. Much like the M7UF you just saw, an original Bulgarian milled receiver. It has a Galil style thumb safety. Sorry, my sling's in the way, but this one operates pretty easily. That's nice too, because you can use it with the stock folded, and it's just nice to have it there. If you don't need it, it's not in the way. It's got a sling swivel here that rotates 360 degrees, so it shouldn't bind up too bad on you. Scope rail mount here. Smooth type dust cover. Standard rear sights. Standard Russian Bulgarian style polymer handguards with heat shield. AKM profile barrel. This is 16¼ inches long, chrome lined, the usual, cold hammer forged. 90-degree gas block with accessory lug. You've got a front sight base here with bayonet lug. You've got a chrome lined egg beater 4-slot flash hider, which is like what came on the original M7SFs. This one originally came with a 74 brake, but I like the look of these a little better, so I just kind of went with that. And this one also, it came with 10-round mag sling cleaning kit. This isn't the sling it came with. It came with the standard green military sling. This is a more modern Bulgarian sling. I like it a little more. It's a little bit lighter. It's still a very strong material. It also has these ridges which allow it to be manipulated to adjust it a little better and stay in position. Just a little bit more of a modern sling that I thought looked better on it, and you know, all of that. I put it on. It's a Bulgarian thing. In it, of course, is a Circle 10 waffle mag. And as you saw in the video, it's, you know, pretty fun to shoot even with the stock folded. I mean, it's just for goofs, but, you know, it's pretty controllable thanks to the extra weight of the receiver and the flash hider brake on the end there. This is basically a semi-automatic version of the current Bulgarian military issue AR-M1F 48, which is just one of their modern designations. They make the same gun with an underfolding stock or a fixed stock, and they even have one variant that has a solid body right folding stock, which is kind of weird. It's a nice gun. The only thing I'd have to ding against it would be this block back here that contains the folding mechanism. Does extend your receiver out, make it a little bit long in the back when we fold it again, so you can kind of get a better look how it protrudes. It just adds a little more bulk in the back, which it almost looks like something that would have been an add-on or an afterthought, but that's even how the select fire military guns have it, so that's just the style they use. But that's, that's about the only thing. I do like it. It's a modern 21st century AK design that actually has seen some combat in Iraq in the last decade, and just it's a quality arsenal gun, and it's several $100s cheaper than the original M7SF series, just as the M7UF is several $100s cheaper than the original SAM7 series that came out that was US made. So it's kind of funny. Years ago, Arsenal was very high priced. I mean, still good quality, but high priced. Well, their prices have stayed mostly the same, or maybe have gone down $100 here or there. Meanwhile, prices from places like Century and IO have gone up a couple of $100. So really, the gap between, say, a Century Wasser and an SLR 107 or even an SAM7 fixed stalker isn't nearly as great as it once was. So this might be not a bad time to buy an Arsenal if you've been thinking about it, just because they have a lot of models available, Bulgarian built guns, both stamped and milled, folding, fixed, and of course the SGL, the Russian line, has dried up, and hopefully that sanction will be lifted soon and we'll see more SGLs. But in the meantime, these Bulgarian guns are built every bit as well and are priced okay, and I can recommend them. Oh, one more thing. You see a lot of reviews say this doesn't have a cleaning rod. It does. It's not in the gun, but it's in the box. It's actually a two-piece rod. The long piece is meant to go under the barrel, and the short piece actually fits in a small pocket in the mag pouch. It doesn't come with a mag pouch, but if you get a Bulgarian military mag pouch, you can put it in there. So it definitely does have a cleaning rod. In fact, it has a two-piece one. So, yep. Just wanted to share these today. We were going to do one long, big Bulgarian video, but we already did the SLR 104 UR and the SLR 104 FR separately, so we thought we'd do the two milds today and just kind of do it in pieces instead. But just trying to get all the AKs out to you. Well, thanks for tuning in. Check you next time.